builders, parents, and collectors. Welcome to the Creation Valuation Station. On this episode, we are going to be evaluating this Woo's Battle Dragon. Yes, we're slowly moving back in time in my backlog, going to Season 13, the Master of the Mountain. But before I get any further with this, I just want to say to new viewers that I do in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also do reviews and discussions of other creative works, such as movies, cartoons, and video games. Because they are in-depth reviews, they can be on the long sides, so make sure you're using the timestamps down below here or down in the description, so you can jump around to your favorite part or use them as bookmarks for coming back to at a later date. Now this isn't too big of a set, so it shouldn't be too long, but we'll see. So let's take a closer look at that. Nice box artwork. There is the back. There's a different view of the dragon there. And this looks like a pretty cool dragon. Anyways, let's get down to the details. It is set number 71718. It's for ages 7 and up, and has 321 pieces. It originally retailed for $20, $19.99. Not a bad price. And it was released in June of 2020, and unfortunately is no longer available. But yeah, it's interesting looking dragon. It's got what appears to be either cloth or vinyl wings, so it doesn't have built wings, which is different for such a small dragon. It's a pretty hefty box for a little guy. Let's go open her up and see what's inside. Here we have the contents of the box. And we got an instruction booklet. We have a pamphlet here for Legoland Parks. We have a vinyl sheet with the wings on it that's translucent. Lets light through, but it's not transparent. It's also gold too, which I think that's really cool. And we have bag 1, bag 2, and bag 3. There's actually more steps in here than I thought, but they like to divide things up. None of them look like they have a lot of parts in them. So let's open them up and see what's inside. Here we have the contents of bag 1, and there aren't a lot of large pieces in here. I think these plates here are probably the biggest one, except for maybe this. Yeah, a lot of small stuff. We got studs on side pieces, some hinges. More on one side than the other. Probably the rest of them are in another bag. Woo is in here, and here is all the small parts that were in the small bag. Yeah, a lot of little stuff. Tons of these white cheese wedges. A couple black ones, but mostly white. That's it for that one. Here we have the contents of the bag 2. Once again, a lot of small pieces. Even had pins and stuff in the larger bag, which is unusual. We got some droid body parts here. Golden claws. A lot of studs on side pieces. We have our dual molded sword. MacGuffin for this wave. We also have some trans green flame pieces, which are kind of cool. Feather flames, whatever you want to call them. It looks like we might even have an extra one, so that'll be nice to have. It's always good to have extra parts in unique colors. And that's it. Moving on to the last bag. Here is our third and last bag. We have a lot of angle brackets here. Well, a lot. 4. Yeah, that's a good amount. They're just large pieces. Oops, you should have been down here. Got some Technic rods and stuff over there, and we have attachments for them over here. Quite a few of these for sure. We have our, I don't know if he's a bad guy or not, but this elf here, or goblin, with his short little legs. Got some gold chains. A lot of these, I don't know what to call them. Single studs with broad ends? You don't know. These half pins. Some larger pins and stuff. And that's it. A lot of small pieces in this set. It's going to be fun to build. Here are our leftover pieces from this set, and there's quite a bit, and some strange ones too. I mean, I expect usually one rod, and we got two. There's multiples of these different colored cheese wedges. It's very strange. Though we have our normal kibble stuff. Oh, we also have two gold claws as well. Strange. You know, the normal studs and extra pins. There's even an extra one of these. This, however, is interesting because you never see extra armor pieces. Now, this is the first one of these sets that I put together. Maybe there's more extra armor pieces. That would be nice. But yeah, I was really surprised at this. It's the piece armor for Sensei Wu, and yeah, that's a bit odd. We also have two studs over here that are technically not overstocked. They're just extra ammo for the little goblin's weapon. But that's it. Quite a bit here for a small set. So here's our characters for this smaller set, hence why there's only two. Got one good guy, one bad guy, I think. I don't know the story behind these, but we do have a goblin. This is Gleck. What a name. Oh, and this is not Master Wu, this is Hero Wu. So, I don't know what's going on with the story behind this set. I have not seen the show, but maybe this is a flashback or something. But yeah, so we have Gek and Hero Wu. And I must say, I like what they did with Wu. We'll take off all the gear, look at him closer. But even with the gear on, you know, used to seeing Wu with just his robes on and his hat and his beard, and that's it. This has got a lot more going on with him. And then we have our goblin character, which is they've used, I think, these parts in the I'm not sure where they've used these parts before. I don't know if they used them in the elf sets or not. My wife has put them together. I haven't touched them. I know they were really awesome looking sets though. But yeah, so let's take off their gear, take a closer look. Oh, one other thing. This shooter here, it works pretty good when you get it lined up right. It's a little bit hard to, you got to make sure this is in just right, or it won't really do much at all. Alright, we've got him stripped down. Before I get that, I did want to mention that the goblin's head here is dual molded. It's not a paint job on those ears. So you'll definitely get matching colors. You don't have to worry about paint mismatched. But anyways, onto these guys' details, which look great. Little goblin there, you know, painting on his legs, but they're the short legs, so that's kind of expected. But the rest of his torso looks great. He's got a little satchel there, the buckle. That face expression's pretty interesting as well. Then we got Wu over here looking quite handsome, and also nice printing both on the legs there and his chest with that kind of, I guess, armor he's got going on there. And flipping over to the back side, Wu only has one single face, but I love how they put his braid on there like that. That's nice, even though you don't really see that with the hat on. But and then it's got that same armor type stuff going on in the back as well. And then more detail here on the goblin guy, and he's got a happier face, but definitely a toothier face. Looks more menacing. Although he does look happy. Yeah, and he's got some ropes, straps around him and stuff. Looks very nice. Very medieval type fantasy guy you got going on here, even though he's in Ninjago. Of course, this whole line is supposed to be kind of this wave is supposed to be kind of a Dungeons and Dragons type wave, I suppose. homage to. So you could definitely use this with your castle sets or whatever you have for a fantasy setting. We've got everything assembled here. We've already looked at the figures, although I'm going to leave Wu around for a little bit. First, we'll start off with this little side build. Now, it's not much here to it. It's basically like a shrine, or perhaps an unholy shrine, with this green flames coming out of it to hold this magical sword of some kind. It's got a skull on it. Can't be that good of a sword. But I do like the simple build of it. And it's not like hooked on by a clip, although these are clips going down here. It just slides in, which holds it in place unless you put it upside down. But that shouldn't be an issue. Unless you're moving it around. So yeah, it's pretty neat. The sword's pretty neat too, and it's dual molded there. Nice little shrine to hold your reward for, I don't know, beating a goblin? I don't know. But that is that. Let's move on to the dragon. The goblin out of the way too. And Wu here, which we'll take care of Wu first. Because there is a saddle on this guy's back. First, let's fold down those beautiful wings. And there's a saddle right here. And you can... He is... This is in there nice and... Ooh, nice and easy. The joints kind of pop down on him. We'll talk about that in a moment. But there's no studs holding him in. There's just the friction between his legs with this. And it's enough to hold him in place, but also easy to pop him off. Now this saddle here, well, it's got some hooks here, and we also have a gold chain for him to hold, by the way. That goes up here, and they're only attached by studs on the side, and the saddle actually easily comes off. So if you want them to go bareback, you can take that off. The chains come off easy. They're only attached by 2 studs. Pop them off, and the saddle is only attached by 2 studs. Also, easy to come off and put back on. The only thing is his joints on his legs are a little weak because they're just simple clip joints, and that's why he's falling down when you push down on him. But when you get the saddle on, and everything's hunky-dory. Now the wings have both a click hinge, and a regular hook hinge in there that work together and gives it plenty of strength to move around. Now they don't fold up or anything. They look really nice. They go on the other side here. You'll see that they are built up here with the ribs of the wings, and then you got a vinyl piece to go over the top, which I think it looks really nice, and it's translucent vinyl top with gold. Looks really good, and the overall effect is really nice. I know people have different opinions about wings. I really like these, though. I prefer a vinyl or cloth to go for the membranes. And a lot of times they don't even have membranes. They just use like large pieces to kind of make the wings. And those can be okay, and then they cannot. I mean, what was the last one I looked at? Oh, the Zane's Ice Dragon Creature, the newer set. And those wings were okay. I like those, not too bad, because the parts were really on the thicker side, so it gave more coverage and didn't make them look just like twigs. But yeah, we got these on hinges, so you can get some nice poses like that. Then the head here is on multiple joints. This is just a click or a hit, clip hinge here at the base of the neck, but you don't need much movement there. But the rest of it is on ball hinges, so you got plenty of room to move it around. Now the head itself doesn't have a jaw that opens, and it's only really a brick built design, but looks really nice. Maybe some people wouldn't be a fan of that, but I think this looks really good. and you have a lot of studs exposed along the sides, but I think they give it like more texture, like scales. Really, that's what it looks like. He's just a scaly dragon. Now moving on to his legs, his I'm pretty sure these were a ball joint where his shoulder is here, but there's a lot of restrictions, so it basically just becomes a swivel hinge. And then he's got ankle rotation. It's just on a clip hinge, and there's another clip hinge here, but then you have these other two, and this makes the front leg perfectly straight, but you can give him an elbow by simply popping off this one piece here. That's a droid body. Well, it doesn't like to come off the actual clip hinge. The stud actually releases faster than a clip hinge. But with this, you can, if you need to, you can give him knee movement. For whatever reason, you want to give him a little bit of a different pose or whatever. But these hinges are on the weaker side, so keep that in mind. Thankfully, he's not a big, huge dragon and doesn't have a big weight. Now, the back legs, they're just on a peg here for the hip. So that definitely only rotates. And then you have actual jointed, has a knee, and then foot as well, joint. And just so you know, those that complain about knees, because this guy does have opposable knee, he does tend to sink down on his back legs like that. If you push down on it. He's light enough that it actually doesn't affect the hinges too much. He will stand nice and straight like that. Now moving on to the tail. The base here is once again a clip hinge, but the rest is all ball joint. So you can move it around until you move it too far. But you can move it around to up, down, left, right, you know. Just lots of different curves and hinges. Just the base is on a regular hinge. So that's pretty much it for this dragon. We'll head back to the desk and give it a final eval. Back here at the desk. My overall thoughts, I really liked this set. I enjoyed putting it together. There were a lot of pieces for such a smaller set. Probably talk about more of it later, but this dragon puts those Evo sets to shame. Now, it might not be for everybody's cup of tea because it's not as detailed. It feels more like a creator set in that aspect. But I think it still looks good, even this brick-built head. So let's get down to the evaluation, because I'll cover more of my thoughts through that. As far as appearance goes, I really like this. I love the wings, but I also know it's probably not going to be everybody's cup of tea because of the studs on the side, although I think that gives it more of a scaly appearance. Plus, you could actually add more onto it if you wanted to. Put spikes down all this thing, the way it's designed. I know not everybody likes that, and because it might lack a detail that they need, but I think it looks really good, to be honest. And I ended up giving appearance a 10. And just other notes, the side build's nice, looks fine, and the goblin, most of the print job's nice. Wu looks really cool in his battle armor. I don't know if we get another. I've got to go through the rest of the wave. I don't know if he's going to be seen more in that or not. Now, as far as function goes here, there's, the standard fare. Now, it's very posable. Some aspects might be a little too posable, but everything works fine. But there's nothing, fire breathing, wing flapping, tail slashing, whatever action going on here. It's just posable and looks nice. So as far as function goes, I gave it a 9. Everything works the way it's supposed to, but nothing's really bad. Works poorly. Now, as far as fun goes, you got a little off balance here, but you're going to have a lot of fun playing with this dragon. And the build was pretty fun too, there's a bit of repetitiveness, like some of the tail segments are the same, and the left and right sides are the same, but it's a small enough, quick enough build that it doesn't get monotonous, even though it is like a mirror image of what you just built. So there's that. The building aspect's fun, and just this is a fun dragon to play with. It's a very swooshable, poseable, you can do different things with it. Fun, got a 10. Now, as far as techniques here, like there's some really good techniques. I like how the wings are built, and that's kind of unique. And then there's this head, but I don't feel like there's a lot of really amazing stuff here. Nothing bad, that's for sure. Pretty standard fare with all the joints, using mixel joints and some other clip hinge joints and stuff to build the rest of this. So I kind of just gave technique a 9. It's nothing bad, nothing amazing either. So you do all the math, you add that up, you get a 38, and divide that by 4, and you get a 9.5 for the average score, which is pretty decent. Now, moving on to price. This becomes a little interesting, because it's a $20 set, $19.99, and just looking at the numbers here, $19.99 divided by, there was 321 pieces, 321, and you end up with 6 cents for a piece. Now that's an amazing price. But hold up just a second before we get too far. Why are there so many pieces in this when it's only a $20 set? Well, there are a lot of little pieces in this, and so I wouldn't go and just judge it by the price count. There's a lot of small pieces that build this dragon, rather than a mix of large and small pieces that oftentimes make up sets. Although you do have the plastic, the vinyl wings and stuff too. But with just looking at this set, this feels like a $20 set. So you're definitely getting a decent price there, and it's a really fun set, and I think the $20 is a really good price, and I gave it an E for excellent. That brings our final eval score to a 9.5 E. Overall, really good set, great, amazing price point, and it puts today's Evo sets, Dragon Evo sets, to shame. The smallest ones are the same price point, and this thing beats them out a lot. It almost feels like Lego regressed. The problem is they're trying to do the Evo. I think the whole Evo system is what is really affecting the sets, because they can make some really cool smaller dragons, as you see here. I don't know what the age is on the Evo ones, but they may be trying to go for younger age with them as well. But this looks so much better than any of those. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and of course, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and sub if you're new here. And if you do, make sure you check out my links down in the description to Twitter or Facebook, and follow me on either one of those places. Although you can hit the notification bell here as well, because that will help with YouTube's algorithm and help promote my video. Anything you do will help. I also have a Patreon link down there you can check out. It's not much, but any little bit counts if you want to help that way. That's a more direct way to help, but anything you do is greatly appreciated. And that's it from me here at the Creation Evaluation Station. This is our first set in this wave that we're going to be covering. I'm not doing it in any particular order, although I am trying to alternate between large and small sets throughout the week, just to make my time go a little easier. So that's it. Going to be signing off here, reminding you that creativity is key.